I talk, you listen. Welcome to my one-man panel of madness. Alright, this is Dr. Gio Who, and we now have finished Series 11. Of course, we have the New Year's Day episode coming up. I'm not bothered by there being a New Year's Day episode. I mean, as long as we have a festive Doctor Who, I think we're fine. Although I do miss it being on Christmas. You know, for 13 years, Christmas had a very special viewing of Doctor Who, and it became a tradition. So I've got to say that did bother me, and I'm not sure if it's Chris Chibnall's idea or BBC, but I'm not really happy about that. But I am happy that we do at least have a holiday special, and it's cool to start the new year with a new Doctor Who. But what I'm not very happy about is this year delay. Now, anyone knows when a show has good momentum, you want to keep that momentum going. You know, it's almost physics of entertainment. I think that when you give it too much time, people start forgetting and numbers start going down. So I have a prediction that when it comes back, even though they think that it's going to be higher ratings, perhaps, I think it's actually going to be lowered. I don't agree at all with their marketing campaign that they did earlier this year for Series 11 with all the secrecy, because you knew that it was going to get spoiled. You know, I remember doing some surveys for BBC Studios, and I kept saying, listen, it's going to get spoiled. The more you keep it secret, the more someone's going to be out there looking for it, because that's the way it works. That's what, obsessive fans like me do. I wouldn't ruin it for people. I wouldn't want to be the one that spoils things. But I'm very, very not on board with this whole year off. First of all, it's not Game of Thrones. You're not filming in, quadrillion different locations. That's not even a word, but whatever. So, yeah, it's not Game of Thrones. And the whole idea that, well, this is a special show that requires more filming and more editing, based on these last 10 episodes that we saw, no, I'm not buying it. So I believe there's something deeper going on here with Doctor Who, especially when the mirror gets, has been getting, everything they've predicted has come true. And that's not good. When they actually start getting, 5 for 5 with their reporting, something's up. So what is happening? Rumors are maybe this is Jodie's last season. It might even be Chris's last season. Then she has 3, I guess you could say, full years as the Doctor, because it'll air in 2020, but then they won't get another one. If they continue to do these year offs, I think that it'll be bad for Doctor Who, and I would honestly say just take the show off, give it some time off then, and let's get back to where it's on a yearly basis, because I that's the way I think Doctor Who works best. In the 80s, we had a similar situation, and it was not good for Doctor Who. Some say that 18 months off was the first sort of nail in the coffin, knowing that Doctor Who was getting ready to get canned. So I'm not very happy. I think if you look at the success of Star Trek Discovery, they had a great success, so now they've got a new season coming up next year in 2019, which I'm really excited for, because at least I may not have my Doctor Who, but I'll have my Star Trek. So, shame on BBC for doing these kind of things, just not paying attention to the fans, keeping the fans in the dark. I think they're losing more fans than they're gaining fans. I've also learned that a lot of the reviewers that originally reviewed Series 11 were mostly paid, and not necessarily with money, but they were paid in other ways, meaning maybe their articles got printed first, or they were referred to, or something like that, and that's not cool. So there are a lot of podcasters out there that know the truth of what's going on with Doctor Who, and they've posted, and that was one of the things, that a lot of people are bought off by major companies and corporations like BBC, and of course they post everything's great, everything, is wonderful, but when you look in reality, it's not. I mean, the numbers, overnight numbers, are just as close as they were for Peter Capaldi. So to say that, Peter had lower numbers, well, no, go back and look at the numbers. They're very similar, very close to each other. But of course, media will say, oh no, her numbers were the best since forever. So I think that this is a wrong move on the BBC. Of course, I don't own the BBC, so I can't, do anything about it, but you fans can. We could let BBC know that this is not what we want from our show. If you're going to just shelve it for a year and then bring it back, that's terrible. Again, I would just say, give it some time off then. As much as I don't want that, give it some time off, and we'll see what it comes. So, yes, Dr. Gio Who is definitely displeased with this whole year off nonsense. And I just think that the BBC is going in the wrong direction with the way they're handling the marketing for the show and how they're handling the show in general. It just shows, I think, a lack of I don't want to say respect, but it's not really respect, but just a lack of something. I can't put my finger on. With regards to the fans and the way that we're being sort of treated with, okay, well, you got a year off, So I don't know. Hopefully, maybe it will be the end of Doctor Who in 2020. That's it. It's over. And if you remember, there were rumors that Doctor Who was guaranteed to be on the air up until 2020. So if you're a conspiracy theorist, which I'm not, but if you remember, there was a leaked document that did show that Doctor Who would be on the air at least until 2020. Maybe that's what they're doing. They're taking this year off, having one last year, one more run in 2020, and then Doctor Who will go away for however time they feel it's time to say goodbye. So we'll see. Hopefully that's not the case, but of course, when I hear something, I'll share it with you. That's Dr. Gio Who out. Bye.